Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of class 9, and today we will continue with the same topic that we read in the previous class, that is free and fair electoral competition, that was related to the country China, under which we have found that China was not at all following this feature of democracy, that is free and fair electoral competition, which was not at all being applied in China. Now today also we will read about the same topic, that is free and fair electoral competition. So we would take the example of another country, that is Mexico, and after reading this we will see whether Mexico is able to follow this free and fair electoral competition in their country or not. So let us begin then. Since its independence in 1930, Mexico hold elections every 6 years, after every 6 years, to elect its president. So in China it was after every 5 years, but in Mexico, since its independence in 1930, that means Mexico gained its independence in the year 1930. Since then till date, what Mexico is doing, Mexico is holding elections after every 6 years, and who is the head of the country? The president. And elections is held in order to elect their president. The country has never been under a military or dictator's rule. And regarding Mexico, one positive thing about Mexico is that Mexico has never been under, after gaining independence in 1930 to 2020, that means till date, it can be said that Mexico has never been under any military rule or dictator's rule. That means that country has never been captured or overtaken by military chief also, or by any dictator also. That has not happened in Mexico. So this is one of the most positive things in Mexico till time. After that, as you can see in the picture, PRI, if you remember, PRI was denoted to one party in Mexico that stands for Institutional Revolutionary Party. So after 2000, that means 1930 to 2000, election was held after every 6 years in order to elect its president. So after 2000, every election was won by a party called PRI. That means till 2000 you can say that multiple parties or multiple political parties were successful in winning elections. But from the year 2000 onwards, every elections that was held in Mexico was won by only one party, that was PRI, that means Institutional Revolutionary Party. Let us find the reason that why they were successful in winning elections after 2000. Every time when elections were held, only the party that won elections was the PRI. So regarding PRI, how they were able to win that every elections, the PRI used many dirty tricks to win elections. So first point is actually against what we are reading, free and fair electoral competition. So the first thing that, or the first point that is written is, the PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party, actually used many dirty tricks. That means they were not using free and fair manners under which elections should be held or under which the result should be out. That thing they were not doing, but opposite to it, they were doing what? They were using many dirty tricks to win the elections. After that, all government officers and teachers are used to force parents to vote for the PRI. After that, after applying many dirty tricks to win the election, the second negative thing that the PRI was doing was they were actually forcing all the government officer and teachers. Through them, they were forcing actually the parents to vote for the PRI. That means all the government officer will be under the government only, and all the teachers will be also under the government. So the PRI, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, was actually using the government officer and teachers. Why they were using? In order to motivate or force the parents, because they were in direct touch, the teacher will be in direct touch with the parents, and according to that they can motivate or they can force the parents to vote for the Institutional Revolutionary Party. This was the second negative thing they were doing in order to win the elections. After that, sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in last minutes. And regarding polling booths, suppose when when an elections is held, and after that every individual has a voter ID card in which your name is there, clear, your father's name is there, your basic details are there. After that your center of voting is also there. Suppose one school is allotted against your voter ID's name, that means you will cast your vote in that particular center only. So that will be permanent until and unless that center is not there. But if a center is there for a permanent time, then he or she will give his or her vote whenever the elections are held, after every 5 years or 6 years, whatever the time may be. So he or she will be always giving the vote in that particular place. But in case of Mexico, what was happening, suppose in the voter ID the voting place is written something different, and suppose you assume that that person has gone to cast his or her vote, and at that time only he or she knows that his or her center is not there, that center has actually been shifted to some other place. So this is what this is totally injustice, because he or she might not know the place also, and to play their dirtiest game in order to win elections, they were doing so. The PRI was doing so that the place of voting was changed from one place to another in the last minute, so that the genuine person who don't want to give vote for the PRI, in order to ignore them, they were shifting the booth from one place to another, so that that person will not be able to reach to that place in the particular time. Suppose some time is given in the voting, suppose it's from morning 7 am to evening 5 am. So in the last minute, if you shift your polling booth from this place to a faraway place, then that person may not reach within that stipulated time. So this was the third dirtiest game that the PRI was playing in order to win the elections. After that, media largely ignored the activities of opposition political parties except to criticize them. And after that, media, that means the print media is there and the digital media is also there. So this media is actually the fourth pillar of any country. That means it is like the watchdog. That means if the government is doing the work positively, then that government should always be encouraged by the media. But if that particular government is not doing the duties properly and it is using the citizen, and it is not at all working for the welfare and development of the people, at that moment it is the media who is the fourth pillar of any country. They should actually come forward and they should focus, they should telecast the news of that particular negative things that was going on. But in case of Zimbabwe, the media was totally ignoring the activities of opposition political parties. That means many parties were actually was not happy with the way that PRI was ruling the country, and in that case the media was totally ignoring the opposition parties except to criticize them. That means the media was at that time should have actually focused on the negative things of the government, but they were focusing on the negative things of the opposition, that why they are criticizing the government. And the media was also favoring the present government, that was the PRI. After that, it used large sum of money in the campaign for its candidate. And after that, as you know that if suppose PRI has appointed one candidate, that means from particular place that candidate will fight elections. So according to the election commission, a particular amount is set that in your campaign, because in order to win elections you have to campaign for 2 or 3 days or more than that also. So in order to campaign, in order to gain your popularity, you are given the chance to campaign about yourself, so that people might know that who you are and why should they vote for you. So in that case, particular amount is fixed for that campaigning, suppose 1 lakh or 2 lakh. If beyond that expenditure is made, then at that time his or her candidature can also be cancelled through the election commission. But as we can see in the case of Mexico, it was not the case. In Mexico, what was happening, that if suppose a candidate who is fighting elections, he was instructed to use 1 lakh rupees, he was spending more than 5 lakhs of rupees, which was totally a violation of that campaigning. So in this matter also you can see that it was spending large amount of money, and it was ignoring all the instruction that was given for the campaigning. Clear? So related to Mexico also, we can see that after getting its independence in 1930, and it was holding elections after every 6 years, all was good until 2000. But after 2000, elections started to be won by only one single party, one and only party, that was PRI. Why did they won? There are 5 reasons, negative reasons that they used in order to win elections. The first thing was they used dirty tricks. After that, they forced the parents through their government officers and teachers to vote for themselves. After that, they shifted polling booths from one place to another. After that, media was also in the hand of PRI only. They were not focusing on the work and development of the government, but the media were actually criticizing the opposition parties, which was not good at all. And lastly, it was spending large sum of money in the campaigning, which was not at all allowed, because in the campaigning process some fixed amount is instructed by the election commissioner or election commission that should be spent, but they were spending more than that, which was a violation again. So regarding that only, should we consider this country as democratic country where elections is not free and fair? So we can tell clearly that regarding China also and regarding Mexico also, we can tell clearly that both these countries are not following free and fair electoral competition. And the reasons are many. We can write at least 4 to 5 points where we can say that China and Mexico, both the countries, are not following free and fair elections. After that, a democracy must be based on free and fair elections where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. So the main thing that should be under free and fair electoral competition is that no one sits in the power permanently. That means everyone has the chance that he or she might lose. So if you have the fear of losing, then your government will actually work for the promotion and development of the society. Otherwise, if you know that you are fixed and you are there for a permanent time, then that government might not work, as we have seen in the case of Mexico and China. Clear? So I will wind the topic here only, and I hope that whatever the points I have made you understood regarding the country China, about free and fair electoral competition, it is now very much clear to you. So with that, I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.